Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lala and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I made my Valentine's Day dessert for less than $10 3 different ways. If you guys have not subscribed as yet, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Also comment. And if you are subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing. And I hope that you like, share, and comment as well. Thank you so much for everyone that has been supporting me this far. And I hope that you continue to support me because I have a lot of recipes up my sleeve. Anyways, you guys, let's get started into this video. Let's go. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to be starting off with the Jello pudding mix. I'm just going to be following the instructions on the packet. This is going to be one of my fillings for my cake. You can get this at the Dollar Tree for $1.25, but I did get this cheaper. It was on sale for $1, so I just bought it for $1. Yeah, so definitely you can get it cheaper than the Dollar Tree. Certain things you can get cheaper. I'm gonna be adding a little bit of red food gel to that just to change the color a bit. And then I'm gonna whip it for 2 minutes. Just until it thickens up, and then I'm just gonna place it in the fridge. Okay, so after the 2 minutes is up, I'm just gonna shake my beaters off. But before I put it in the fridge, I'm gonna use some saran wrap to place over it. So I'm gonna be pushing it all the way until the top of the pudding mix because I don't want it to crust over. So I'm gonna basically just press it down all the way until the top and then refrigerate. Okay, there you go. All right, so now I'm gonna be baking my cake. I have my oven preheated at 350. I'm using a Dollar Tree cake mix here. So it's $1.25. I'm in Canada, so my Dollar Tree is $1.25 for everything, while in the US it's $1. So you'll get it cheaper if you're using US money. Anyways, I'm just breaking it up with my whisk a little bit. I'm gonna be doing this by hand. You don't have to use electric beater for this. So yeah, I'm just using a wire whisk, and I'm following the package amounts. It says water, but I'm using milk. And it says oil, but I'm using butter because I want this to taste good. So I'm using milk and butter. And I'm using the same amount of eggs. You could use another egg if you prefer. I just didn't thought of it, but I should have just used an extra egg. Oh well, I'm going to be turning, this is a vanilla cake mix. So I'm going to be turning this into kind of like a red velvet cake. So I'm adding about a teaspoon of cocoa powder, and then this is unsweetened cocoa powder, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of red gel food coloring, or a lot. Yeah, so I'm just gonna whisk this. Look how pretty that color is, you guys. Big ups to my brother that gave me this camera. Oh my god, it's like it took my thing up top notch, don't you think? Yeah, so look at that. That is beautiful, you guys. That batter is good. I'm very happy with that color. All right, set it aside and prepare your pans. So I'm using this pan here. I'm not really sure I don't remember what it's called because I had this for years, but it's a Wilton baking pan. And yeah, this is what I'm using for this project. So basically I'm just greasing it very well down into those crevices and grooves, right? I'm gonna grease it really well. This batter, actually, this amount of cake batter is perfect for this amount. You could use it for cupcakes, and I think you will get 12 regular cupcakes from this batter, or 10 or 12. And maybe like, see, this pan here is more of a large. I would say it's similar to a large cupcake pan. So yeah, it should do perfectly for 6 large cupcakes and maybe 10 to 12 regular size cupcakes. So what I did was cut like it's not perfect, like a round parchment paper, and I kind of do slits so it covers the bottom a little bit, cover that hump in the pan a little bit, because I don't want it to stick. The worst thing is when you bake a cake and it sticks to the pan and you don't get your cake out perfectly. So I'm using that so it doesn't stick to the hump, because before I've used this method before, it did stick. Years ago when I first used it, it did stick, so my cake got destroyed. But I said, let me do this method with a parchment, and yeah, it worked out perfectly actually. So I'm just adjusting them just so that, you know, they fit perfectly in the pan. Okay, now to pour my batter in, I'm gonna be using the medium size of the ice cream scoop. I know these come in 3 different sizes. There's small, medium, and large. I'm using the medium size. So I'm just gonna pour in each what would you call this? In each section of the pan, and then I'll go over with another half a scoop in each section. Y'all, I can't even do public speaking. This is not just recording this. It's like hard for me to find the words at times, but I don't know. I can have a real good conversation face to face, but when it's time to really speak, sometimes it's a little bit difficult. But anyways, yeah. So see, that amount was perfect for that six pan, you know what I mean. It was perfect enough for 6, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, after my oven has have been preheated and ready, I bake these for 15 minutes exactly. So basically I'm just tapping my pan on the counter just to get those air bubbles out. So tap it until you see those bubbles pop, okay? All right, so here they are. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I do got a little bit of hump on the top, but I'm not going to cut these. So I'm using a parchment here, and then I'm using a baking sheet, a baking pan, and then I'm going to use some of my canned food to put on top just to flatten these out, so I don't have to do any trimming or cutting or whatever. I want these to stay just the way they are. So yeah. All right, so because these are in the center and the 2 are on each side, I was trying to adjust this so it flattens both at the same time, but then I decided to just go across with my things just to flatten them, help flatten them a little bit. So I'm gonna leave this on here for about 10-15 minutes. Okay, now my 10-15 minutes is up, so I'm gonna take these off, and then I'm just gonna use my same baking sheet, and then I'm gonna flip them out of their pan. So this is pretty much cool enough for me to touch, so it's not hot anymore. So I'm just gonna give it a good shake just to get those out of the pan. Okay, and there you go. All right. So remember to remove the parchment. I really would want to remember what the name of this pan is. I'm gonna have to look it up. I don't remember. I think I just went to the Bulk Barn and I saw it and I said, oh, let me get that. But I don't really know what it's called, but I've used it for so many desserts and I love it. I really love it. Okay, so I'm gonna let that fully cool and then I'll move on to the filling. Okay, now that it has fully cooled down, so I'm gonna be using ice cream for one of the fillings. I'm just showing you 3 different ways in how you could do this. You could put your own spin on it, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be exactly how I do it. This is just for an idea. So that one is my ice cream. And then I'm adding a nice fresh strawberry to that. I'm just putting back my ice cream in the freezer, y'all, because I don't want it to melt, so sorry about that. Yeah. And then this is my pudding mix. I'm using a piping tip with a piping bag just to give it a nice swirl. And then my fresh strawberry. And this is just regular whipped cream, you guys, that I'm going to use for the third and final one. Okay. Also using a piping bag and a Wilton tip. Give it a nice swirl. And then a fresh strawberry. I think that's my favorite one, just by the looks of it. The ice cream one really tasted good, actually, and the pudding one tastes good as well. My kids had the whipped cream one, so I'm not sure how that tasted, but I think by looks that's my favorite one. But anyways, you guys, this is just an example of what you could do for that day. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next one. So bye.